Hi, Alf. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
hi.
Hi. So, yeah, thanks for joining. So, let us start today's session with a cloud, like DevOps and SRE. Okay, as part of DevOps and SRE, like, okay, troubleshooting point of view, what are the activities we perform, all those things, okay, we'll try to cover. So, yeah, I shared my screen. Can you see my screen now? Like,
Yes.
you all can see my screen, right? So when you're working with an okay, uh, as a DevOps engineer, okay, when you're working as a DevOps engineer or SRE engineer, okay, you are responsible for okay, like performance analyzing your application servers, your your production servers, different environment servers to make you okay analyze that, right? If there is a performance bottom, if there is an issue with your okay uh, like servers level, application level, right? You are responsible for troubleshoot that, right? So like you may get that performance issues through different ways. Your client may okay send a mail to you saying that hey, my application server, my application is working very slow, kind of okay issue you may get, or else you may get alerts as part of your application. Once you build your application, right, so you set up monitoring for that to avoid the business loss, right? So you set up an okay like an monitoring for that, right? The monitoring, when you set up a monitoring, like you may get alerts, notifications, right? So when you got an alert, you may get an okay incident on your service now. Okay, generally in a production, most of the times, people will use an okay incident management system. Like you'll get an ticket incident on most of the times we use service now. Service now is a ticketing tool, right? People will call Snow or service now, right? So you get an incident on the ticketing tool or incident management system on a service now. So once you got an incident, right, you are responsible, okay, to look at that issue, to address that particular issue. That you have to resolve. So as part of that, right, what are the things you need to consider? Right, you got an alert saying that my okay, you might have got either mail from your customer or you might have got alert. You might have got alert. Okay, alert saying that okay, like alert might be something like high CPU utilization kind, high CPU utilization. Okay, high CPU, let us say more than 90% kind of alert you got. Okay, so or else you might have get some mail from your client saying that my application is performing very low. Such kind of mail you get, right? So what will do here? Okay, to address that issue, what are the activities we perform? So first we need to understand like what exactly the issue, right? If you understand the issue, then we can try to address that particular issue, right? So without knowing what is the issue, we cannot troubleshoot that, right? Directly you got an alert saying that high CPU 90%, okay, we can jump into the CPU related issues and we can work on it. But in this case, let us say you got an mail saying that, okay, there is a performance issue for their application. So how you start troubleshooting that? Okay, let us say we identified that, okay, this is on a Linux based issue. Our application is installed on our application installed on a Linux based servers or Windows based servers, right? Either Windows or Linux based servers, you have installed your application. So we need to identify, okay, what is causing the issue, right? So how can we identify that? So we need to go through certain mechanism, like how can we, okay, to identify the issue first of all. First of all, we need to identify the issue, then we can try to address that issue, right? So, what could be the reason? Like, tell me what could be the reason? Okay, that application performance is slow or okay, very okay, it is not that up to the mark. What could be the reason? So might be CPU issue, might be memory issue, some process in either Windows or Linux, right? So something is running, some service, some application is running. So their corresponding, okay, there will be a corresponding process will run, right? If you look at task manager in Windows also, whenever you run something, you look at here, I ran like some notepad, task manager, some application here. The corresponding process will run. If you look at this process is consuming certain resources. Either it could be a CPU, memory, okay, something like that. Okay, it is consuming our system resources. If you look at Notepad is not utilizing any of your CPU, memory it is utilizing something. If this particular application consumes most of your resources, like 90% of CPU, there is no such, there is no other, there is no option to other application to utilize that. Right? Suppose 100% memory utilized by your particular application only, right? So that could be the reason, okay, it is performing very well, right? So we identified that, okay, let us say this particular service, okay, let us say this Zoom application is consuming here 7% of your CPU. Let us say, okay, it is consuming 100%. Let us say it is consuming 100% of your CPU. Okay, now what do you do? Okay, we identified that this process is consuming most of your most of your resources. But how we identified that? Let us say we used a task manager, this particular process consuming this much of resources. You can also look at here performance, like how much CPU utilization is happening, how much idle, memory details, utilization details. In the same way, if it is on a Linux-based operating system, how can we identify it? Right? In a Linux, how can we identify the resource utilization? One of the command is top. What the command we can use? Top command. With the help of top command, we can identify. Okay, we can identify entire utilization, your resource utilization details. Right? So what is a what it will give you basically? The top command will give you what is the load on my machine, load average. Okay, especially it will help us to look at like a load average. So what I'll do, I'll try to quickly uh, connect to one of the server, Linux server data set. I'll take a killer code quickly to have connectivity. Okay. So we have some Linux server ready to use, right? So if you look at here, I'm trying to run a command called top, right? When you run the top command, it will show you like, okay, how long it is up and running, how many users are connected. The main thing I'm looking at is here now is load apps, right? When you run the command, we are observing here now load apps. The load average is 0.20, 0.08, 0.08, something numbers with that, right? What exactly it is, right? It says, okay, your system is currently at present, what is the utilization? It is a 5 minutes back utilization. It is a 15 minutes back utilization. At this moment, it is a present utilization. Present CPU utilization, 5 minutes back utilization, okay, 15 minutes back utilization. Oh, let us do one thing. Here, I'll say something like this: 2, 4, 6. Now, what do you observe with this? If I see the numbers like this, is that load increasing on my machine or decreasing on my machine?
Increasing.
Try to understand. 15 minutes back, there was a 6. 5 minutes back, it reduced to 4. At this moment, it is further reduced to 2. So what do you understand with this? Is that load increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing.
Load is gradually decreasing, right? If you observe something like this, okay, what is the 6, 4 numbers and all? I'll explain. That is fine. Okay. So now tell me, is that load increasing on my machine or decreasing on my machine?
Yes, it is increasing.
It is load is slowly increasing, right? Right. So now we need to identify what is this number first of all. Other thing is, what is the reason why it is increasing or why it is decreasing? What is the reason for that? Right. Right. So how can we identify? So if you look at here, there are certain resources. Okay, there are certain resources if you look at here. Okay, these are all the different processes we call, which are running on my machine, which is consuming certain CPU resource, memory usage. Okay. Fine. So what is this number? First of all, we'll try to identify. What is this number? Then we'll look at. I'm pressing Q. Q means it will come out of that. It will continue when I run the top command, right? It will show you the live details. It will update its details. When I say Q, right, it will come out of that. That is fine. Now what we'll do? We'll say lscpu kind of a command. What is the command? lscpu. lscpu will list out all your CPU details. How many CPUs you have? One CPU. How many CPUs you have? CPUs you have is one. So based on this number, okay, we can identify the CPU utilization on my machine. Let us say I have one CPU. I can see here something like an okay. I can see here something like one. Sorry. Okay. I can see something like an 0.2, okay, 0.5, 1. You observe like this. Present load is 0.2, 5 minutes back is 0.5, and now the load, 15 minutes back is 1. Now the load is decreasing. Yes, we identified that. That is fine. But how much percentage of load is this now? How much percentage of the load we have? Okay. So here, if you say, okay, here if you observe, one CPU means it is 100% utilized. 15 minutes back, 100% utilized. Okay. Okay. Whereas 0.5 means it is 50% utilized. 0.2 means 20%. Right. Okay. If I have a 2 here now, let us say I have a 2 CPUs. Now tell me what is the utilization details?
Half of it is utilized.
Sorry.
It's 50%
Half
as
of it is
yeah.
utilized.
10,
Like
10%, 25, and the 50%.
10%, 25%, and 50%. Correct. But how you identify? There is some formula actually. Okay. So yeah, you are right. Okay. Okay. So like if you look at here, let us say you have an 4 here, 4 CPUs you have. Okay. At this moment, I could see present load is 4 number here. Okay. Here I can see, okay, 2. Here I can see 1. Right. What is the load average we can identify?
Since it's utilizing full CPU.
So, present is 100% utilized. 5 minutes back, 50% utilized. And 15 minutes back is 25% utilized. Right. So okay. So this is the way we can try to identify that. Okay. Now, if it is based on that, okay, how much CPU utilizing and all, okay, we can try to take a corrective action. If it is a more than 90%, we send a notification. Okay. So that, okay, we can identify what exactly, okay, utilization. Then we can try to take a corrective action. Okay. So, okay, fine. Now we identified, okay, we understand that, okay. So what is the utilization details? But which resource is causing that? Right? Which resources? Which process is consuming that particular resource? That we need to identify. Right? So now look at, there is a command. Okay, there is a command. Let me try to get like this. Okay, let us say here I can run a command called PS. PS is a command, first of all. Let us try to understand. PS is a command. It will tell you what are the processes are running on my machine, first of all. So I connected to a pseudo terminal 0, only 2 processes are running. But ideally, PS-EF means we'll try to show you all the processes which are running on my machine. It will show you PS-EF means it will try to show you all the processes which are running on my machine. What is the process? Instance of service. I told you, right? In Windows also I shown you when you open a terminal, it has shown you all the details. What are the processes are running. Every process has a parent, one process ID. Every process has a process ID. Also, we have a parent process ID. Every process has a process ID, child. This is the main process ID. This is the parent process ID. Okay. This is the parent process. Okay. Okay. That is fine. Now we want to identify what are the processes consuming high CPU or high memory on my machine, right? So very useful command you can use. Very useful one of the command is ps-evo. Okay. ps-evo. What is E here? E is nothing but, okay, it will try to select all the processes. So -o means like what are the columns you required? Okay, what is the format of output you require? I required like a PID. First, I need a PID of that process. And I want to have also PPID, parent process ID. Okay. And I want to have parent process ID. And so which command or which application has started that particular process? We can use CMD. Okay. We can use CMD command. Basically, which command started that process? Then I can use like a percentage of memory consumed, percentage of CPU consumed, and try to get it all the details. Can get all the details now. Okay, this is the top CPU utilization. See, all are zeros only. At this moment, no application running, so it is showing 0. Out of that, which is highest utilizing, it is showing. Init process is consuming a lot of. So, okay, fine. But if you want to further sort it, okay, you want to now you want to monitor, you want to look at only CPU related information. Okay, so what I can do, -sort, -sort. Okay, which one you want to sort with? Sort equals to like, okay, you can say percentile of CPU. I want to filter with like, okay, which is consuming, okay, more CPU details. Okay, so you can see higher CPU. So if you want to like consuming like which is memory related, you can say mem, right? Which is causing highest memory, you can say that. Highest memory consuming details, right? Top memory consumption, right? If you try to say here CPU, top CPU consumption details over. Okay, top CPU consumption. Yeah, clear this one. Right? So like a top CPU consumption details. Is this the top memory consumption? No, it is not the top memory consumption. Memory consumption is different. 0.3 something is there, right? Something, okay, whatever, we have different. Not, this is not the one top memory consumption. We filtered with CPU consumption details. That's why we got this. Now you get to know what is the top CPU consumption process, right? What are the details we got? First, PID we got, PPID we got, which command initiated the process we got, and what is the memory and CPU utilization we got, and what is the sorting we have done. And also, I don't require all the processes. I require the top 5 only, top 10 only. You can say pipe symbol head. Head means top 10 only. No, I require only top 2. Only top 2. Top 1, top 3 lines. Only top 3 lines I require. Head command will tell us to print the top. Tail command will print bottom, right? Is this clear what is meant by PS hyphen? E means what is the E? Like it will try to select all the process. O means output of format. Which format you require? First, I need a PID, PPID command. Then what is the memory consumption, CPU consumption, sort by CPU. If you required head command, you can do that. Head top lines we want to get. Now we can identify which process is consuming more CPU or more memory. Okay, we identified it, fine. So then what do you want to do? Okay, you identified it. What do you want to do now? So we can see whether it is a genuine process or not. We can see whether it is a genuine process or not. Right? If it is a genuine process, we'll see that who is the initiated that particular process, which user initiated that process. Right? And also we can identify. Sometimes you can see the zombie process. Zombie process means where you don't have a parent for that. Okay, such kind of zombie processes you can see. Which causes the zombie process may consume all your CPU resources, all system resources, right? And it may cause your system perform very low, right? So what we can do for that? Okay, for the zombie process. When you look at on our top command, right? So here you can see that some of them are S means sleeping, idle, some certain things you can see. Sometimes you can see Z here, that process is can kill that with the help of kill command. Okay, with the help of kill command. Okay, let us say I'm trying to run a command like sleep. Okay, something 1000. I'm running this command in a background mode, right? So, okay, I'm running in that in a background mode. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Okay, I'm running this in a background mode, right? So let us say yes, hyphen EF prep sleep. Okay, so this is the process we ran. You identified that, okay, this particular process is consuming more of my CPU utilization. So what you can do, kill. I mean, don't kill, okay, without taking right approvals from your client. Okay, so sometimes it may be an some application may initiated that. Okay? That may be one of the important process which is running their production job, something like that. Don't kill, okay? If it is a consuming resources means it might be utilizing some important information, important jobs are running. Don't kill, okay? As you know the kill command. Yes, you confirm that it is a zombie process. There is no parent for that. and it is utilizing all your system resources, though there is no business to do with that, then we can say kill. Okay, -9 means okay, termination signal. Then we can use a PID or PPID. PID is 2436, right? Can use that. So when you look at I ran the command sleep, right? If you look at jobs, you see, okay, is that jobs are running? No, the jobs are not running. We killed it. We killed it. Right? We killed that process. Now that job is not running. Yes.
Can you please repeat like from the sleep command?
No. What? Just I ran some process actually. Sleep command to test it. Okay. To test it. Okay. I ran some sleep command. Right. To kill that. Okay. What we did is we tried to get that process ID. Okay. We identified that particular process is high CPU consumed process. How you identify which is consuming more or high CPU utilization? With the help of the command we ran some time back, ps-eo, PID, PPID and all. Then we identified that process is consuming high CPU. Then we know that okay, it is a zombie process which is not useful for our application. Okay, once we confirm that, once we got a confirmation from your client, okay, they are asked to kill it. Kill, okay, you can say icon 9, that process ID 12, okay, what the process ID is 2441.
Why
right?
-9 there?
-9, okay, there is a kill signals actually. If you look at kill -L, there are different signals. Kill signals are there. One means signal hang up, signal interrupt, signal quit, signal kill. Different interrupt signals are there. Here, if you look at 9, is nothing but kill signal. So it is completely kill that particular process. If you use 15, like signal termination, hang up, different options are. So we are using 9 means kill that particular signal. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
So yeah, you can use a top command to identify the resource CPU utilization, lscpu to identify number of CPUs in your machine. Based on that, okay, you can identify what is the load on machine. PS command, ps-ef to look at all the running processes information. Right? ps-eo and PID, PPID, right? And we also looked at percentage of memory, percentage of CPU, sorting, sort by CPU, right? You can identify which processes are consuming high CPU. You can use head command to identify top processes which is consuming high CPU. If you sort by memory, it will show you tops memory utilization details. If you identify that unauthorized process, how can we identify unauthorized process? Whether it is a zombie process or all. Once you got a confirmation from your application owner or client, okay, you can kill that, which is unauthorized process. Then you can say kill -9, that process ID. You can do it. Okay. Fine. That's it for today. A simple CPU performance looking at and troubleshooting kind of. So we'll try to continue this tomorrow again. And with the help of a memory part, we look at. Okay, we'll try to look at tomorrow. How can we look at memory? There are certain SAR reports are there. What is SAR report and how it is going to work and how we see that. Okay.
Thank you, Raghu.
Okay.
Thank you all. Also, see you tomorrow for an memory based utilization tools. How can we address that memory related issues? How can we identify that in fine? I'm telling you the same thing in chat. Just you can try to see that. Okay. And then try to continue. Thank you. Tomorrow onwards, we have an Azure regular sessions at 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. AWS DevOps sessions. Thank you very much. Bye.